Today is August 5th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, good to see you back and hopefully on your way to recovery after a little procedure this past week.
Yeah, I had my right knee replaced, and the only time I didn't react to anesthesia and pain medicine very well. You would think a guy from the 70s would be able to handle any drug they send to me, but it's so here's what'll be fun for the show today. When I lay down, I'm fine. When I stand up and move around on my walker, I'm fine. When I sit like this, I throw up. So we could have, some real good, fun live activity on the show today.
You know what? You have a walker. I know our friend John Marisek also using a walker after his procedure this past week. So maybe I'll get the two of you together this week and we'll have a race and see what kind of money we can raise for charity.
We'll be walker talkers. There's the show.
It is Yankees and Cardinals weekend. It's going to be so much fun in town. I would imagine many Yankee fans traveling in to see their Bronx Bombers here in St. Louis. And you know what? A really, really good team facing another now first place team this weekend. And we kick things off with Nestor Cortes against Dakota Hudson. I'm very excited to watch Nestor Cortes pitch tonight on TV.
Yeah, there are four teams that to this point in the season have been elite. Both New York teams and the Dodgers. Well, three, and we think the Padres are going to get there, but the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Yankees are absolutely elite. And if you want to measure yourself against a team that is probably going to be a legit or is a legit contender for the World Series, be careful for what you wish because you're going to get a look at it this weekend.
Yeah, here is what the lineups look like for you tonight. The Cardinals will lead off with Dylan Carlson in center field, Tommy Edman at second, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Nolan Arenado at third, Albert Pujols DHing against the lefty tonight, Tyler O'Neill in left, Paul DeJong at short, Yadier Molina behind the plate, and Lars Nootbaar getting another start in right field. For the Yankees, DJ LeMahieu is at second, Aaron Judge in center, Anthony Rizzo is at first, Gleyber Torres DHing, Josh Donaldson at third, Matt Carpenter makes his return to Busch. He is in right field tonight. Kinner Falafa is at short, Jose Trevino is behind the plate, and Andrew Benintendi, one of the newly acquired Yankees, is in left field for the Yankees tonight. Benintendi not off to a great start here with New York, but you look at the rest of that lineup. God, that's without Giancarlo Stanton, it doesn't look as scary as what it could be. But still,
yeah.
Those against right-handed pitching, having Rizzo, having Carpenter, knowing what those guys are capable of, that's a damn good lineup.
No, it's really good top to bottom, and it's funny. People will look at numbers on a couple of guys like Josh Donaldson and go, well, he doesn't scare me anymore. The problem is, and I think I'm stealing this from Goldschmidt from earlier in the week, is that what he say he didn't look at stats because they're a picture of what's happened in the past. We know what Donaldson is capable of and other guys in that lineup. And it only takes one pitch, one game in a series to turn things around. I think when you're facing the Yankees, you do kind of look at the names because those guys are all capable on a given day of doing real damage.
Matt Carpenter met with the media just a few moments ago, and during that, some of the highlights of this going off of Katie Woo's Twitter right now, she said that he was trying hard not to think much about this weekend because it would get his emotions going pretty significantly. Said that he teared up once talking about how excited his kids were to come back to Busch Stadium this weekend and probably run around the halls that they've grown up to this point, running around these their whole lives.
It's great. I don't know anybody that doesn't root for Matt. When you mentioned the lineups, you mentioned he's in right field. He's played right field and left field, a couple other positions. It is kind of funny, for whatever reason, the Cardinals were loath to ever put him in the outfield. when we struggled for outfielders for much of his career. And it's just funny how an organization can have a group think. And, would you turn around and say, would the Cardinals say, well, the Yankees are wrong? They're just wrong. Sometimes it's trying to think outside the box a little bit. If Brendan Donovan can play everywhere, why can't somebody like Matt Carpenter? You know what I mean?
We've seen the Cardinals do that, though, in the past. And I mean, we have seen that with, Alan Craig going and playing everywhere he played. Colton Wong, Skip Schumacher. I mean, we have seen the Cardinals go and do that in the past. So was it the arm strength of Carpenter that maybe, I mean, even with Matt Carpenter, I mean, they moved him to second. They tried him at second base at times. So there must have been something that the Cardinals saw in their organization that said, you know what, this isn't a guy we need in the outfield. And the Yankees, on the other hand, were like, you know what, he's so hot hitting right now. This is the only way he can play.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. He doesn't run well, but there have been big league outfielders, even all-star outfielders over the years that have not been good. That's why they end up in left field. And so I'm just glad they're finding places for Carpenter to play.
Yeah, it's you know what? If this was Daily Yankees Live, I think we would sit here and we would talk about what you do when Bader and Stanton come back with all these other outfielders that you've now acquired, and how you go about finding time for all of them. But that's a problem for them to have in New York. And I think when it comes to talking about baseball in New York, there's not a whole lot of problems that we can really address right now with with their teams.
No, they're going to be just.
Looking ahead into this series, tomorrow we get to see Jordan Montgomery face his old team in Saturday's game. You know what? It doesn't seem like Yankee fans were too happy about him being let go for Harrison Bader. I think
I don't think it's a good trade for them.
I don't get it. I mean, they need pitching. They just put Severino on the 60-day DL. They didn't go out and really they got Montas, but they didn't really make many big splashes in the and get many big names in the trade deadline like we've seen them in the past. So I don't know if they're in a position to just give up a starting pitcher like they did, but I'll take him.
Well, Montgomery's, his numbers and his career numbers, I think, are better than Quintana's, and Quintana was great last night. If Montgomery, I think right now, without seeing him pitch, of course, I think he slots in as your third starter as far as, ability performance-wise. So we'll see. If there's anybody, I'm not concerned about Carpenter in emotion. Here's a guy that Montgomery that'll be going against his old team in less than a few days. Little concerned about that for him. But other than that, I'm excited to see him go. And if he's not good tomorrow, it won't bother me.
Yeah, I was very impressed, and I'm sure you were too, about what we saw with Quintana yesterday. You know what?
Yeah.
And it had to seem like, he had to be looking around, I'm sure, at one point in the game after leaving the game up 2-1, and then with blowing the lead there, going, I thought I left this. I thought that was a Pittsburgh thing. I didn't think I was going to have to deal with these no decisions after throwing 6 innings of one-hit ball anymore. But the Cardinals do come back yesterday and win the game 7-2.
Yeah, it was a really good ball game. A bunch of different guys contributed, and I think we're starting to see Ollie Marmol's bullpen starting to take shape. We'll see if guys aren't shell shocked after facing the Yankees for 3 days, but I think we're seeing how it's going to go down.
Yeah, we get to see Frankie Montas too on Sunday afternoon. So we'll see what we, I guess, missed out on or never took a shot at. I guess
shoulder.
He'll be going up against Adam Wainwright in Sunday's game. So you get to see a guy that was high on the radar apparently for the Cardinals that they did not go after in the end. So fun weekend of baseball, Rammer, Yankees, and Cardinals. I'm just going to go back and I'm going to go back into people's memory here. June 12th, 2005, my favorite Cardinal Yankee game. That was at Old Busch Stadium. You remember the name Scott Siebold?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Scott Siebold with the big home run in the seventh inning of that one. Cardinals win 5-3 over the Yankees. God, that was a good year. That was their 40th win of the season that year on in that 2005 year. They were 40, and that was June 12th. Wow. For that game. Yeah, they were 40-22 after that one. 20-year-old Joe was having a really good time that day at the ballpark, thanks to some friends that he made at the field that day.
Well, 66-year-old Rammer is ready not to have a good time. So I think if we wrap this up, I'm going to lay down.
I will let you do that. And for that, I will say that we are brought to you each and every day by Royal Banks of Missouri and Mungenast St. Louis Acura. Hey, over at Mungenast Alton Toyota, too, you can rent a car. Some of those, you can get a truck, a car over less than $350 for a week. Go to look at any of the other rental companies and try to do that these days. $350 for a rental for a week. Mungenast Alton Toyota can do that for you. He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Hey, have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you on Monday right here on Daily Cards Live.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.